It's Tuesday's market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. I'm the Chief Investment Strategist here at TGO, and my call sign is Wiz. We just knocked out a great primary live trade brief. We do that every 10 o'clock. In the morning on Tuesdays. Put on an AMZN bull put spread that's already showing a little bit of green. Also, Goldman Sachs bull put spread. Also looking to leg into an iron condor on Goldman Sachs, and I'm filled on yesterday's weekly trade in SPX iron condor. So we have a lot of good-looking trades starting to go on here at TGO. And it's very interesting because the futures were down, the market was down at the open, and now we're up 5, going on 6 here. You just cannot keep this market down. But you can. What goes up definitely comes down, folks. Last Thursday at 1 and 4:30, I did a webinar, and due to popular demand for folks who couldn't attend that webinar, because it is, I did talk about hedging, I'm going to do another one at 1 o'clock this Thursday, folks. Hedging the Trump rally, or actually I should change that. I'm going to introduce you to a new word called a Tredge. We're going to Tredge this rally here. What I need you to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT. That stands for Full Throttle Webinar, okay? Go.topgunoptions.com/FT, Full Throttle Webinar. And just for registering, folks, we're going to throw we won't throw it at you. We'll give you an OPCL, the Options Pocket Checklist, just for registering, and that's a $45 value. Wiz, I work Thursday at 1 o'clock. Don't worry, folks. We will record this one. Everything's recorded here at TGO, and you can watch the replay because, folks, this is getting nuts. We're going to talk about things strategically here, but this is a little bit of a short squeeze, folks, but it's on low volume as well. Strategically, folks, what do we have going on? Cream of some young guy, saber rattling. Yesterday, he's going to hit us back 1,000-fold. This is getting serious, guys. The fact that China actually voted for those sanctions, nearly $1 billion in sanctions, is a big deal. They didn't abstain. They didn't sit on their hands. They didn't vote no, which they usually do to take care of their cousin. This is a big one. I think China knows that Trump's getting pretty damn close to military action. I'd say September, October, if China can't sit on them. And I guess this is one last shot for China to maybe sit on these guys. The military options, a surgical SEAL strike a la Bin Laden, surgical Tomahawk strike. It's going to be ugly, folks. But why don't we not believe the intelligence agencies, and why don't we just believe that these guys can hit our shores now and with a nuke? Why are we, and the whole THAAD technology, folks, of trying to hit a bullet with a bullet, that's a lot of math going on at that point. If that's what we're going to rely on instead of negating this threat, we're in trouble, okay? So, again, we're whistling past the graveyard with a lot of the things that are going on in the world. Last week, Trump fired a broadside in an initial trade war with China on intellectual property. The FXI is still going up. Russia. Remember last week, folks, he signed the sanctions bill that he didn't want to sign, and as he signed it, he said, by the way, even though I'm signing this, I think some of this is illegal. I don't know how the hell you're the chief law enforcement officer in this country, and you say I'm going to sign this, but I think some of it's illegal. Bad things going on around there, guys, and that's also why my spirit animal here, Jeffrey Gundlach, quietly heading for the exit. Vol is about to go up. Now, I mean, hell, Matthew Buckley is heading for the exit. You could insert me in there, folks. I've been saying this. Volatility, something's going to happen to freak this market the hell out. That's why you got to come to our webinar on Thursday. What is it going to be, Wiz? I don't know. I'm briefing you on the things it could potentially be. It was reported yesterday that Warren Buffett's $100 billion in cash. Now, that guy might be able to find that type of coin in his couch, but that's a lot of money. And Warren Buffett is Mr. what? Mr. Dow theory. I don't care about short-term, whatever. Net, the market's going up over time. You buy railroads, quality stocks, blah, blah, blah. When that dude's starting to not follow his own advice and is starting to put a lot of money in a Folgers can in his backyard, you need to sit up and listen here. But Gundlach says being defensively positioned is worth sacrificing a few quarters of higher returns. What does that mean? Getting long vol now, even if it doesn't pay off, pays off because you can sleep better at night. And that's what we're going to talk about on Thursday with the Tredge here. So when the smart money is really starting to hedge, I get it that it's potentially a crowded trade. It doesn't matter. Get into a crowded trade if it's the right thing to do. This was the headline yesterday. U.S. stocks higher, helped by earnings and other corporate news. Here's this morning's before the market turned around this afternoon. U.S. stocks open lower. China trade and Germany trade. Oh, okay, today it's going to be down. And by the time halfway through our primary live trade brief today, the market's already turned around and is up 5. This is now it's up 6. The SPX is up 6, almost 7 points, folks. That's that's nuts. You just can't keep this market down. Even though you're reading all this stuff, the market has never done this before, folks. Never. It's now been 13 days since we had a larger move using daily data back to 1927. So I get the fact that even if the SPX closes up a point today, Comedy Central, CNBC, gets to do the headline, market closes at record highs. Technically, they're right, but take a look at the damn chart, folks. Let's take a look at the chart of the S&P 500 here. Look at this. Market, I was cautiously bullish to here, and then I switched to market neutral. We're going to chop sideways, folks, like we did with all these other ones until we get a catalyst to either push us down or push us up. And on Thursday, we're going to talk about the potentially pushing us down part. We have a hawkish Fed, we have relatively decent corporate earnings, and we have a low dollar. And oh, by the way, crude. Saudis today saying, hey, you know what, folks, we might just do this on our own. Okay, they're in a 2-day meeting in Abu Dhabi. I've been there before. Worries persist about oil producers' compliance with last year's OPEC-led output cap agreement. So Saudi Arabia, I briefed you a couple weeks ago, was doing what? It was sticking its finger in the chest of everybody else going, why are you guys cheating? You're pumping more than you agreed to, and the price of oil's low. Well, these guys, the Saudis, might on their own do what? Turn off the spigots for a couple days. That's going to kick them in the gut, but net, it should help oil prices. These guys don't get capitalism, man. Obviously, they don't even let women drive a car. But if they all turned off the spigots for hours, just OPEC, hey guys, for the next hour, just send out a group text, turn everything off. The price would go through the roof, and it would help them. They don't understand that. So we'll keep an eye on oil, but, you know, oil catching a bid here helps equities as well. We talked about Goldman. We pounded the hell out of Goldman today in our primary live trade brief. We're in a short squeeze right now with Goldman. I can't find one good article on Goldman Sachs. Matter of fact, one of the articles today said, hey, you know, this whole trading, we got to get out of. It ain't us. Let's get back to the blue blood stuff, what we used to do. And private equity and deals and taking guys to strip clubs. So how do I erase these? So look at this, folks. Goldman, we've been doing Goldman Sachs iron condors. They've been in a nice range. This is a short squeeze. I've seen no positive stories on Goldman over the past 3-4 days or last week. If anything, it's been bearish. People, there's been downgrades. So you know this is a short squeeze. Now, important Obama teachable moment here. Short squeezes what? They end. If you can't beat them, you join. But I'd be very, very careful putting a top on here. Once, not if. When I see a little bit of red in Goldman, I know that's when I'm gonna leg into an iron condor here because I got my bull put spread on. It's looking even better now that the market's up. Look at this. As I talk, the market goes up here. So I like where we're positioned in our portfolios here. All this stuff I'm going to cover on Thursday. Make sure you go and register right there. And don't forget, folks, once you become a member, you can join us out in Lake Tahoe, November 3rd and 4th. It's going to be awesome. Looking very forward to that. And obviously, you can get a copy of my book as well. Go.topgunoptions.com/book, and we'll do the autographed copy stuff. There's also some clips of my some speaking engagements on here as well. Okay, I got to run, folks. Like I said, if you want to join us for Thursday's webinar, head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT-webinar. But you can't keep this market down, guys. In the absence of just horrific macroeconomic event, geopolitical event to the downside, this thing is going to grind higher until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, we're going to potentially see some pretty good outsized profits with our hedges, okay? All right, folks, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.